Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I want to talk to y'all a little bit about Pym II, Preserve Your Memories 2. I purchased mine from polyclayplay.com. This is actually the cap that I use for something. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can actually go to the Pym II website and find different distributors and retailers for their product. And then that way you can like price compare and stuff. But I really like Polyclayplay. This is not a sponsored post, though if they want it to be, let me know. But no, I really do. I love Pym as far as I'm aware, and I'm speaking solely from my limited experience as an artisan. I'm talking about how I use Pym in my day-to-day professional life. First off, it's the best thing I've ever found in an aerosol can for spraying polymer clay. It holds up fantastically. This is a piece that I did, I think, 2 years ago. And it's held up through multiple washings, through multiple, careful dustings and stuff. But you can see it has protected so much of the detail. And what I like about the spray is it didn't bunch up or gunk up. Like, it still has a nice shine to it. It's not like, use it in an emergency to signal a helicopter if you're lost in the woods shiny, but it's pretty nice. It has like a nice, gloss to it. Not high shine, but whatever the term is. I also use it on other fairy house sculptures that I do and different things. I like it again because I don't have to worry about any glazes gunking up in spots where like I paint it on and it runs before it dries. There's no spotting, there's no drops or anything. It's a perfectly even coat, and I have yet to find a paint or clay or anything that it does not react well with. Again, that's my experience, so if y'all have experienced something differently, I would love to hear about that. Like, please share down in the video, just like comments below the video description, where you like to get your Pym, what you've used it for, products that you prefer. Just, I want to hear y'all's experience because I feel like that's how I learn a lot from this stuff. This is another fairy house that I have yet to send off, but again, it's saved the detail in these natural, well, they're dyed, but they are naturally formed crystal geodes, and it just settled in there and didn't affect its final sparkle or anything, but I still feel like it really brought to life a lot of the marbling and different things that were happening on the little roof flower. I also use, though there are other products, like you could use many different products to fix charcoal and colored pencil, getting situated, charcoal and colored pencil pieces. I do like this because I can fix a layer and then go back over and add more over it, and it doesn't really interfere with the tooth of the paper as much as some of the less expensive sprays I have found do. It says that you can use it for paper, polymer clay, inkjet prints, Copic markers, metal, with UV protection. And that's something that I haven't had. Again, the big tree sculpture that I showed you guys, I've had it sitting in a window, and I don't have any yellowing or anything. So feel pretty good about that. I have used it on leather. It holds up pretty well on flexible pieces for, again, if I'm doing like, if I do a little bit of a mica powder rub or something like this stuff, the metallic lusters, where it's like a little bit of a wax that you put on, this does fix it a little bit. Not as much on the wax because it's kind of oily, but whenever I'm just doing like Pearl-Ex pigments buffed over the surface of a leather to make it look a little bit silvery or something, this holds up fantastically on that. Another side note that is kind of specific to what I do is the cap is perfect for holding these individual like resin molds. It holds them all upright because I kept having problems with them like knocking over. And in the times where I don't know if I'd use the cap as an actual like resin mold, I have not tried that yet, but in the times that I'm filling and it overflows and settles down into the lid of the cap, it pops right out like whenever the resin is dry. So there's no like difficulty with chiseling or anything like that, and so super easy cleanup. And for the amount that I go through these bottles, these cans of Pym, I have a lot of caps laying around. So I may experiment with actually using them as like a mold, because I might be able to use it as like a mold box for individual things, like if I've sculpted a piece that I want. And so it's just nice to be able to upcycle the different parts of the can instead of just throwing it away, I think. But yeah, that's Pym. This video was requested by one of my patrons, so thank you so much for requesting this video. And if y'all have any requests for future videos or tutorials or questions about things, I really would love to hear from you guys. All the links to everything that I've talked about, hopefully, most of them at least. There'll be links to Polyclay Play down below. There'll be links to the little, if you're interested in getting into resin casting, there'll be links to the molds for those. But yeah, all the links to my social media and stuff are down below if you guys have any questions. I think I've already said that. Also, the Pym, this really is only kind of, it only adds a little bit of a gloss. So whenever I'm doing something like polymer clay cabochons, I don't necessarily use Pym for that, because usually for a jewelry piece I'm looking for something that's going to have a lot more shine to it. But on like I did a batch of faux turquoise, and I thought the Pym was perfect for that because it helped seal and protect the little acrylic paint veins that were in there, as well as give it a little bit of a shine. But turquoise is a stone that normally isn't polished to a perfectly high mirror finish gloss anyways. So yeah, I hope this helps. Happy crafting, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.